Welcome, everybody, to Does That Make Sense? Episode 15. Every week, I say the next episode number, and I'm blown away at like how much fun I'm having and how many times we get to do this and the feedback that I get. So super cool. I want to encourage everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, leave comments, share it. If you see a link on Facebook, like it, share it. If you see a clip on TikTok or Instagram, the engagement helps get it out there to people. And we love to hear what you're thinking, good, bad, and different. We just engage and click and share and do all the things. So thanks so much. Behind the cameras and behind the mics are Brandon and Ryan today. If you don't know them or remember them, watch 2 episodes ago when they hijacked the show, and you'll see them. But they're not going to be on camera or on mic today because I have 2 very special guests that I am thrilled. One you've met, the other I'm thrilled to introduce to you. They are sisters, oldest friends I have. And I'm not even gonna waste time. Kristy and Pam. I almost said Hawk. I almost used the only names I've known you by. But Kristy and Pam,
my name, actually.
You never changed it? Did you?
No.
I didn't know that. She's like, don't cut that part out. No one's supposed to know. I
don't care.
Welcome, guys, to Does That Make Sense? How are you both?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I am so excited to see both of you. We chat on group text and we talk and we go back and forth. But to see both of you just brings me a joy that I can't even explain. So thanks for taking some time. We talked about this last time. Kristy's joining from Texas, right? And then Pam, you are where?
In Kentucky.
Kentucky. Very cool. What's it like? What's going on in Kentucky right now? What is late October like in Kentucky?
So it's been hot, very hot. Like the air is like soup forever, and
gross.
until about a week and a half ago, and then all of a sudden it was like bottom dropped out of the temperatures, and now it's like actual fall. So it's like, oh, this is nice. So I don't know how long we'll have this, but I'm good with it because I can breathe outside again.
That's good. And then Texas is Texas. What do you got going on over there?
We have a cold front right now.
What is it? 74?
It's 66.
66.
Actually.
When I sat down in the podcast studio, I was like, man, it's hot in here. And Brandon's like, oh, I told him to turn it up. It was a little cold. I'll go turn it down to 70. And I was like, turn it down to 70? 70 should be the max that it goes ever. Anyway. So I'm a guy who opens we had like mid 30s, mid 40s last night overnight. And I sleep with the window open. Like that's my style. And my house is set at 68 at the highest. If I walk past the thermostat and it's set to anything higher, I'm like, no, we're turning this down. And my wife is cold always. So my theory is that you can put more clothes on and you can only take so many off. So just make it cold and then bundle up.
Yeah.
So I want to dive right into
Eric makes our bedroom super cold at night.
That's how I prefer it. I prefer it that way.
So I like menopause does weird things to you, and like it hot flashes become a thing. So now I'm the one that wants it to be like the icebox everywhere.
Oh.
And it's like we've switched, and Joel's like freezing, and I'm like, please turn the air conditioning back on. But everybody else in the house wants the heat on. So, I'm the weirdo now.
Yeah, I'm cold. I'm always hot, so I like the room cold. I want it to be the colder, the better. Yeah. So I want to dive right into a couple of things here because in Kristy's episode, we had some conversations because your youngest was just coming out of some like crazy medical stuff, had a surgery, and there was all kinds of like recovery. And you sent videos of him. I was jealous because he just was using was he on the Roomba or was he next to the Roomba? I can't.
A scooter.
He was on a scooter.
He was on one of those scooters from like gym class.
Okay, I remember that. Now, do you have a Roomba? Was he next to one? there was a Roomba in.
Yeah, we have a Roomba.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm over here like this kid is living my dream. I don't want to mow the lawn or vacuum. I want to sit on a robot that does both of those things. And he was living my dream by doing that, but it was on a scooter. The ones that I used to hate when we were in school because because I'm not the smartest guy. Let's just be honest. You guys know me from a long time ago. I always held on to the wrong part of that scooter and I'd run over my fingers every single time. So that was the thing.
I don't think it's issues with your brain, Andy. I think it's the athletically challenged.
Yeah, basketball was the only thing I was ever good at, and it didn't click until I was like 15. Before that, walking and chewing gum took a lot of thought. So in some of the conversations that we've had, Pam, there's been some discussions about like your situation is very unique in that you adopted your first child.
Yes.
And then after that, and if I remember correctly, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong, I remember that there was thoughts that you and your husband wouldn't be able to have children. And so you adopted, and then surprise, you had a kid. Right?
We became that family that literally everyone knows, like, oh, you adopted and then you got pregnant.
Yeah.
And that was literally the second thing I said to my husband after I figured out that I was pregnant. I'm like, now we're that family.
We're that family. Because I remember thinking to myself when it happened, I was like, isn't that how it works? Like, I feel like that's like the ultimate kind of cosmic prank.
Everybody thinks that it's like you're so uptight about getting pregnant and then you adopt and then you just relax. And I'm like, oh, I found out at 40 that it turns out that it was stage 4 endometriosis that was causing my infertility and not that I was just like super uptight. But, but yeah, we adopted our oldest. He'll be 20 in a couple of months. And then
what is that? I
don't know.
No, he will not.
I know.
20. And you adopted him when he was a baby. Like this wasn't like a teenage adoption.
No. He was 11 months old when we got him. So we've had him for, it'll be 19 years in January that we brought him home.
And this was an international adoption, right?
Yes. He's from India.
Okay.
So here we go, having been to like Toronto as our like only international experience. And then here we go by ourselves to India and show up going, well, here we are.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what we're doing, but here we are. It was crazy.
And then, so how old is and you just have the two?
Yes, and our youngest, he'll be 15 in December.
See, that's crazier to me than the 20, because I feel like when your youngest is, my youngest is going to be 8 in April, and I'm like, I'm only 27. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I'm 41 years old, until I stand up, and it takes me 2 tries to get off the chair. But generally in my head, I'm like, I'm not 41. I could still do all the things that I could do. I can't. And so we have talked and had some conversations the podcast is called Does That Make Sense? And I use this tagline that we try to create a little bit of chaos that we can control to try to make sense of the chaos that we can't control. Right. And we talk about a lot of fun stuff, and some of it's real chill and we just have conversations, but life is full of so many things that don't make sense. And yet they're real and we have to deal with them. And one of those things that you and I and Kristy have discussed is the mental health component of all these different things that play into, parenthood and adoption and, stepmotherhood, like all of the things that come with these different things. We grew up, all 3 of us, in a very similar religious environment. My wife did not grow up in anything close to that. So there's been a lot of like making sense out of those vast differences for us over the last 16, 17 years that we've known each other. But I do want to talk a little bit about like the mental health side, and just get your perspective on, where Micah is his name. And, and you've talked with him and he's comfortable with us having this conversation. So just walk me through a little bit about like some of the hurdles of, we carry things from when we're not able to remember them, right? And then they still impact us, even though we're in a much different environment. So talk a little bit about that, and then we'll kind of go around the little table here.
Wow. So not sure where to even begin on this one. I know we were kind of joking in our group chat about the Bugs Bunny and the comically long list of things.
Yeah.
And I feel like that applies to this situation as well. And, I mentioned that my son was young when we adopted him, and our adoption agency was great about adoptive parent education. And I'm a really strong advocate for that, because there are plenty of people who think, oh, there's so many kids that need homes. True. We have love to give. True. It's going to all be great. Not true.
Yeah.
There are whole worlds of things that you just can't even imagine, with genetic components and early childhood trauma components. And like you mentioned, the background of the adoptive families, whatever involvement the biological family might have, which I'm a strong advocate for.
Yeah.
All of these things combined, and there really isn't a great framework for any of this.
Yeah.
And often, I hate to say it, but there are many adoption agencies and even state adoptions through foster care where you get this child placed in your home, and they might be young, or you might not have very much information about them. And,
right.
You go through the legal process, and congratulations, here's your child. It's kind of signed, sealed, delivered, and then good luck. And then you have a child who has complex behaviors or developmental delays or any number of random mysterious ailments that you weren't told about. And you have nothing, no support. And you're trying to piecemeal these things together with little background or little experience, or like in our case, we were young and first time parents.
Yeah.
And
in a time frame too, where things, like, we're still learning about all this. It's not like it's
absolutely
20 years from now and there's a textbook on all of the things that we're learning. Cause you had mentioned early childhood experiences, like before they're even able to remember.
Yes.
And at Safe House and with the kids that we deal with, there's pre-birth trauma that can just absolutely change how the brain develops, the cognitive processing, everything, and so, and you just don't know. We get cases all the time of kids where we'll have, it'll be 11-year-old kid. We'll have 10 years worth of medical data. And that year that we're missing, or the 9 months before they were born, is crucial to helping us figure out the right way to help them. So I can't imagine, it's almost like you got a puzzle. And
absolutely. That's absolutely what it is.
But there's no picture. Yeah. And there's no picture. Yeah. So by the time you get something to click, you're like, it's working. And then that one piece is upside down and you had no idea. And it takes
my son has said how frustrated he is about how his, he has several diagnoses and they have evolved over his lifetime, and he gets very frustrated with that. And he feels like it's been, inept practitioners or something. And it's like, no, that really isn't the case. It's just as symptoms have evolved, as circumstances have changed, and the picture becomes clearer as you've gotten older. We have more data to work from. Whereas when you were like 5, we had limited information, and some of these diagnoses, unfortunately, they're not going to diagnose a young child with, even if they were exhibiting signs of a serious mental illness. And I can tell you, Andy, the adoption agency that we went through was great. And they actually had now this was like in the days of like Yahoo groups and like forums.
Wow,
and stuff.
we are
we're reaching
old.
back here. So
did you have AIM instant messenger conversations with them at any point?
No, but it was like an old
MySpace.
All of the adoption agents were your top 8. Yeah.
It was very, but it connected us to other adoptive families that we've stayed connected with this whole time.
Yeah.
Whose kids were at the orphanage.
It became your top 8.
Oh, yeah.
I met my wife on MySpace. I didn't meet my wife on MySpace. I asked her if I could have her phone number on MySpace, but that's a different conversation.
No.
So you found the support there, and then
All of these kids, many of them, not all, many of these kids that we have stayed connected with have ended up with some serious diagnoses.
Yeah.
And you realize that, kids don't end up in an orphanage because things are great in their life.
Right.
In their biological family's life, so.
Did you always know that you wanted to do the international thing once you decided to adopt, or did that just kind of develop?
No, I think it kind of, it kind of was always there.
Yeah.
There was an element of, and I hate to admit this, but, it's the truth. I was terrified of bringing a kid home and then the biological family being like, never mind, we want our kid back. And then me still not having a child after all of the experience.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, well, that wouldn't have been a bad thing. Obviously somebody with a biological child deserves to be with their child. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know. So, I mean, it seems like I don't feel like that's something you should feel guilty about because, everybody has that desire and it's, you're meeting a need, you know what I mean? And I can't imagine, like I'm going through something right now where my wife and I are trying to buy a home, like an inanimate object. Do you know what I mean? And there's these ups and downs and it's like, man, I can't do this. Like I'm like exhausted, So I can't imagine that being true of the process of like a person, you know what I mean? Like you're like it's just, I can't even begin to fathom the weight and the emotional stress that would take after, because it wasn't like you guys, and again, correct me, but I don't recall you guys being like, we're only going with adoption. We're not even trying to have kids. You know what I mean? Like you tried, you know what I mean? And like, so there's that struggle, which is its own thing. Then there's the decision, then there's the process, then there's the fear. Like, I just can't, talking about mental health, man, that's a toll.
We looked at it a little different. Like we did not try a lot of fertility treatments or anything like that. First of all, was just terrified of all the medical procedures, was just hilarious considering all the health. I have some health issues now, so it's kind of funny to think about. But, the most important thing to us was we just wanted to be parents, So if, the biological child thing wasn't happening, we grieved that. But then, we knew that we had wanted to adopt when we got married. So we thought it would sort of be the reverse.
Yeah.
But I see now like that we wouldn't have adopted Micah if we would have had Andrew first. Like it just wouldn't have happened.
Right.
So it kind of had to happen the way
that it did in order for things to be the way they are. Yeah. Kristy, in terms of like, my sister being the aunt of my kids, she lives 6 minutes from me. Right. And so like we, my kids FaceTime her and then we get together. And I know how close you two are. So like, how do you kind of overcome the distance? Right. Cause I know the kind of aunt, just by knowing the kind of person that you are, Kristy, I know the kind of aunt that you are and want to be. So what is it that you guys do to, bridge the gap?
Well, both of the boys have phones now. So we text and send each other silly videos and that kind of thing. Luckily, I was able to bond with them both when they were, babies and stuff. So by the time I moved to Texas, it's really only been in the past few years, basically like when the pandemic hit kind of thing. Maybe the year before that I was in nursing school. So, there were a few years there that I couldn't travel.
Right.
And other than that, when I still lived in Ohio, I would go back and forth. And when I was a flight attendant, I would go back and forth to visit all the time. So I don't know. I think it's just like making the most of the time that we have together when we're together. And then the rest just kind of falls. I think they like keeping in touch with me.
Yeah.
It's not, my weird aunt, I don't think they feel that way about me. Maybe they do, but I don't think so. They're weird too.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they do, you know what? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree,
Right.
And so
my Andrew actually showed me, he got a new phone number and he put my picture and his phone is like a Mentos
Okay.
wrapper,
Yeah,
because the last time I was visiting, I showed him all of those stupid old Mentos commercials from the 90s.
You know what I showed my kids when we were on vacation this year? You guys are going to love this. Old Carman music videos.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yes. And me and Courtney sang every lyric. I mean, we haven't watched those things in years.
You don't forget them.
And I remember thinking, because I've made like short films with people now, and like I've like sat in a writer's room, and I've sat in like meetings with people who are doing whatever, the whole process of like making a short film or a music video or whatever. And I'll watch these things now and I'm like, this was not an inexpensive process. Like, this dude invested tons of money, tons of time, tons of energy. And I'll watch him now and I'll be like, man, I'm so glad they're from a different time, because if he's putting these out now, I'd be like, nobody wanted to be like, hey man, you want to try this, but like, given the time that it was like epic. It's so funny. If you are watching this, I guarantee you, if you're watching this, you've probably never heard of Carman, just because I know who watches this. You have to open your mind, look him up, and then don't judge us, is all I'm saying.
Here are the ones to watch. A to J. Satan Bite the Dust.
That was the one that I watched. I watched it 3 times on vacation.
Al Capone.
We'll spit in your eye, you father of lies. Satan, bite the dust.
Boy, you're gonna take me on and my unholy herd.
Not only take you on, but take you out by the Spirit and the Word. One by one you'll drop like flies underfoot and in the ground, because greater is he who is in me than the snake I'm staring down.
And I remember like still had the same emotional response that I had when I was like, however old I was.
Okay, but how about some of those scary ones, like Witch's Invitation and Revival is it Revival in the Land?
Yeah.
That's like the devil and hell, basically.
Yes.
But
terrible.
I was so afraid of Witches. Witch's Invitation scared me for years.
I was more scared of the No Monsters one. Because like it was just like,
is that one a Riot? Was that one from?
It was from Riot.
Yeah.
I don't want no monsters in my house tonight. Don't want no monsters in my house. Blah blah blah. But then and I remember like I read up on him. Like I pulled up Wikipedia and like all these other articles, and like I read up on him, and I was like, he was the man. He was the man. He was everything in early like. There wasn't a single person doing what he was doing. His concerts were free. We all went to them together a couple times. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time at one point he came out on stage and he goes, guys, the fire marshal just told us that if you don't find a seat, he's going to make me stop. He's going to shut us down, because they didn't sell tickets. So they just let everybody in. And so they were way past capacity. And like, knowing what I know now about building codes because of what we've done and, all this stuff, like a fire marshal walked in and said, oh no, like saw a catastrophic incident happening and said, Carman, either tell them to sit down, find a seat, or I have to shut this down and everybody has to leave. So he came out on stage and was like, figure it out, guys. Like, you can't be standing in the aisles or whatever. And then I just remember being like, what's happening, Dad? And he's like, oh, it's Carman. He'll figure it out or whatever, And yeah, he's like, it's okay. We're going to pray the devil away right now. It's the devil trying to shut the concert down, everybody. And so you're not going to stop these people from hearing the gospel. They're going
to call us Pentecostals.
Yeah, seriously. Everybody watching this is like, okay, I get it now. They're weird. Because Pam's wearing her Mario shirt now, because that's another thing that we all have in common was it me and you, Pam, that wouldn't let anybody else play? Yes. Yeah. We'll get over it, Kristy. It's okay. We would play Mario while our parents were playing categories. Was it categories?
Yes.
Categories.
And
That little
being
buzz
loud and
sound
crazy.
still haunts me to this day.
Yes.
And so they would be playing categories, doing their thing. We would be fighting over Mario. My sister and Kristy would be very upset, and then Pam and I
We'd be
would play
playing house usually.
Yeah.
We'd like go play house in her room or something.
We'd play the firstborn card and get whatever we wanted.
Yes.
To this day,
Yes.
Courtney still claims, and I'm going to take this to my grave. Courtney still claims that I'm the favorite because I'm the firstborn. She talks about it all the time. And I'm like, first of all, listen to me. When I started college, my parents were like, we never did this. Go to the college, take a tour, figure it out. That's what they said to me. Do you know what I mean? When Courtney started college, they were like, Andy, your sister's never done this before. Take her to campus and show her around. She needs to know what she's doing. And I'm like, you made me do it. She's fine. It's not like we go to school in like this dangerous area. You know what I mean? And so Courtney's like, no one ever gave me anything. You're the favorite, firstborn, golden child. And I'm like, I said, no, you're the one that they made me do everything for. And I don't think she watches the podcast, so she probably won't see this. This will be the one episode she watches too. She'll be texting me and be like, what are you saying about me? So love you, sis. So yes, Carman, Mario. I mean, we've done.
Okay. Let's have a
Power Rangers.
Yeah. Wait, before you get off on that, let Mario for a second, right?
Okay.
So we played that for how long? Never could save the princess.
Never beat it. Yep.
So I think it was 2 years ago for Christmas, we bought our son a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. So he was able to get all the classic games.
Okay.
So Christmas Day that year, he gave me like the greatest gift.
He beat it.
He helped me save the princess that day. And it was like my life was complete.
You did it.
No.
Yeah.
So now but really though, because they can just rewind it. And I'm like, so now I want you to do it without doing that. I just want, you got 4 guys and they're like, and he's like, it's not guys, Mom. You know, he gets all irritated with.
What is it?
Yeah. What does he say it is?
A light, I guess, an extra life or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it's not. I'm like, no.
Yeah, when
it's
you
an extra
die,
guy.
the little guy disappears or whatever. Yeah, it's a guy, but it's like, I get it.
Yeah, they quibble with my terminology on it or whatever, but still, I'm like, we couldn't rewind.
No.
If we died,
if we were lucky,
we hit the.
They probably call
and
They probably call the flower thing firepower too, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, dumb. We're failing these children.
I know.
They probably Ethan figured out a way to speed run Mario. My life wasn't complete when he showed me how to beat it. I drop kicked him in the throat because he did it in 12 minutes.
Yeah. No.
He beat the entire game in 12 minutes because he found all of the passageways, the shortcuts. Yes. He did not have to play those terrible underwater levels. He skipped all the way through them. And I said, that's it. No more video games for you. Here's a book. Here's Legos.
There was one, and it was like World 8-2 or something like that. And it was like, there was a pipe, and then you had to jump because there was a space. And then there was like the tiny brick. And then there was the space, and then there was a second tiny brick, and then there was a big space to the other one. And I cannot tell you, I don't know if you remember that or not. I'll find a screenshot of it and send it to you. But I swear, you and I fell down those holes
every time,
so many times, like hundreds of times. So this kid, he does it the very first time. Because we would try to speed run from the edge of the one brick over and then jump. Well, he got to the edge of the pipe and ran and jumped from the pipe over and did it in the very first time.
No.
Like,
you're saying no, he didn't do it, or you're saying
no? I'm just saying no.
Yeah, here's what I think. The name of this podcast is Does That Make Sense? That doesn't make sense.
I No,
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I also think
something's got to be different on the Switch than on the
it's
old
Switch.
school.
I want to see somebody use those old brick controllers and do it.
Yes.
Because those things were made to like, there's a part of me that's like, really, like Nintendo knew what they were doing. They're like, this technology is amazing. It's the best that's ever been made. And I'm like, now I'm looking at it going, yeah, you couldn't have put a curve on it a little. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? So the speed run thing, he did it in like 12 minutes. He's playing this game right now called Hollow Knight, which apparently is like impossible to beat. Like, it's like the hardest game out there. I don't know. And so I told him that because Brandon, my producer here at the podcast, and I work with him through all the stuff. He's like, that's a really hard game. Tell Ethan that if he's beat any of it, that's really impressive. And Ethan, when I told Ethan that, his eyes got huge. He's like, tell Brandon that I beat, Radiance on, whatever. And then he starts listing all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'll tell him. Yep. So this is me telling Brandon that he did that.
You did not tell me that.
I didn't. I just did. So he was so excited about it. And so every night, and so now what Ethan wants to do is he is so excited about it that he'll come into the room that I'm in. And then I'm sure you guys have experienced this, but Ethan is just like skin and bones. And so he'll come in and he takes his knee and his elbow and he positions them perfectly in between my ribs. I don't know how he gets both of them in between my ribs. But he does. And then he's like, watch me play. And I'm like, okay. And so then I watch him play for an hour and he loses 50 times and then he wins one. He's like, okay, I'm going back to my room now. I'm like, okay, bud.
So my son likes Minecraft but he like doesn't play Minecraft exactly. Like, he builds these elaborate things, and his current ADHD hyperfixation is geography. So he's making this world map, and with all of the countries, so like he'll have like the United States, but then like the body of the United States is like the flag. So each state has their flag represented. It's pretty cool.
I don't get it. I can't build anything in Minecraft.
No, me either. How old is Minecraft's been around since forever, right?
I think 2005 or
That's
6.
not forever. Is that forever?
I mean, it was only 2 years ago.
I only play one game, so.
What do you play?
Baldur's Gate 3.
What is that?
Some weird vampire.
It's an No, it's not. No, it's not weird. It's not. It's like a D&D RPG.
Okay.
And I really like to get to a certain spot in the game and then create a new character.
Oh, do you play D&D for real?
No, but I want to.
I had a buddy of mine.
I have once.
That's the one time I did it too. Is I have a buddy. His name's Andrew. Shout out Andrew. Love you, buddy. And he's like, you got to try it one time. You got to play one time, because if you don't like it, I won't ever ask you to play again. And he invited me to like this. It's like a place out in Warren, and they had like a Sunday afternoon D&D thing. It was like a 4-hour like time. Had a start and end. People brought food. It was neat. It was like a whole community of D&D players. Literally had never played before in my life. And he was the dungeon master and he did all of his thing. And I'm sure that you guys had the same experience as I did when I was growing up, that when we were kids, if somebody mentioned D&D, they were like, oh no, it will invite evil into your home. And yes. I was like, we won't even get into the fact that they were like, committing 4 of the 7 deadly sins as they said that. But we won't, we won't talk about that. And so I went, and when I ran Refuge, the after school program, kids would play D&D or they'd play Magic the Gathering, the card game. And then I had church people from other churches that were like donating to Refuge, calling me to go to their church to have meetings with their like church counselors to tell me that I shouldn't be allowing kids to play those games, like in refuge. And I sat down with them and I was like, if you guys have a problem with donating to this organization because I allow that, then you can keep the check. Like, that's fine. And I'll get the donation some other way. But if you're going to put,
I mean, like, think about what else they could be doing.
Yes.
And they're sitting there playing D&D. Like, there's a whole monologue. I don't know if you watch Stranger Things. There's a whole monologue about, like, how the D&D crowd is, like, you know, the devil worshippers or whatever. But they're not even, like, I don't know. It's a good monologue.
I'll have to, what is it? Who was it?
Stranger Things.
Oh yeah,
Netflix.
Great show. I know the one you're talking about. It's like the one of them in the more recent seasons. Yeah. Fantastic. We're going to talk about Stranger Things in a minute.
Munson.
If you bring up Stranger Things, did you say Munson? That's not his name, is it?
Eddie Munson.
I don't know the last name. I knew his first name was Eddie. R.I.P. Anyway.
Well.
You think he's coming back? You think he'll be back in the season?
I think he's going to do like maybe a cameo or something.
See, I hope so. He was a fan favorite. I liked him. So anyway, this pastor counselor was like, we're going to, you know, like if it has to do with that, it's bad. And I was like, I disagree. If anything, I think it teaches values and creativity and a billion other things that I think are really positive. And while we're a faith-based organization, we're not really connected to any particular, you know, like,
you're not a church.
Yeah, I'm not a church. Like, we're faith-based. I do devotions, but like these kids need to feel like they're safe. And if they want to come to your church and you want to teach them that, I'll drive them to the youth group and I'll drop them off and I'll come pick them up. Like, I'll volunteer. Like, I'll do all that. But don't tell me what to do in a building that you've never walked into just because you're donating $250 a month. You know what I mean?
Well, and sitting down with kids that they've never interacted with, right? I mean, like, this is a population of kids who have been through it.
Yeah.
And back.
Yeah.
And like playing that game is the least of their anything. Yeah. You know? Like,
yeah. So anyway, when I went to go play it, I was like, now I'm going to experience what all these kids used to talk about the whole time, because they'd bring in all their dye and all their stuff and they would do the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is great fun, whatever. About an hour and a half in, I remember thinking to myself, this is not for me. Like, this is not my favorite thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like, Andrew was having a blast, and he had created all these characters, and he had this long drawn out thing. And it was great. It was just one of those things where it's like, you could tell me about it when we hang out. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my favorite thing in the world. And it just happened to be on a Sunday, and I'm a huge Browns fan. I mean, you know, you guys remember the days.
Oh, Andy, still.
Yeah. What do you mean still? I'm stuck in it. You know what I mean? Like, I could move anywhere in the world and I would still tune in on a Sunday and watch them lose, because I don't know how to watch them win, because that never happens. No. And so that's what makes this particular story this much more painful, is because we were playing the Baltimore Ravens, which, if you know sports, Browns fans hate the Ravens because the Ravens used to be the Browns and then they left in the middle of the night. It's a whole thing. So if you're watching this and you're wondering why I'm getting all amped up, look it up.
The lore.
Yeah, look up Art Modell.
The lore of the Browns.
Fart Modell. Okay, whatever. Anyway, and so R.I.P. Sorry, he was fine. Okay, and so they beat the Ravens at the end of regulation with a field goal, and I didn't see it because I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I remember thinking, I can't believe that this is probably the best game they've played in a decade, and I was playing D&D when they won, and so I left and I called Steph and I said, I'm coming home. I'm sad and happy at the same time. I have a weird mix of emotions. I'm going to go get a hamburger. And I got a burger and I went home. I need comfort food. So going back, Kristy, your kids are how old again?
17, 5, and 2.
Oh my goodness.
2 and a few.
2 and a few. 2 and a little. Are either of them into gaming?
Finn likes Minecraft, and Eric started playing another, like...
Hang on a second. Hang on. Come look who I'm talking to. Hang on, guys. just come in. Yeah, we were in the middle of it.
Is it your dad? Hi, Bob.
I can't see. Oh, hey. I'm like, I can't see.
How are you?
I can hear him through your earphones.
Yeah, you can hear him.
Can I get on the other one?
You won't see him, but if you
Yeah.
want to get on a mic, it can record.
There's no cameras there. The camera's not recording there.
If the cameras aren't recording, but they can hear. He can hear them. Can you hear me? Can you
We
hear
can
him?
hear you.
They
We
won't
can
hear you through the mic, but the recording will. So if you're listening to this, guys, and you're not watching, my dad popped his head in, and obviously, me and Kristy and Pam go so far back. Dad's like a second father to everybody.
I was just telling Nate when we were driving that I remember holding Kristy, right?
Said it with
Kristy.
said it with two S's.
Right. When she was really little. I've got pictures. I think I've got an old picture of me holding her. She was like 1 year old.
Aw.
Yeah. And then I
precious.
told Nate, I said, the last time I saw you guys, I sang for you at a church. It was not during church service. It was like before church. And you both started crying. And I told Nate, I said, I don't know if they were crying because they felt sorry for me or if they actually felt the Spirit of the Lord or anything. I'm not sure.
Oh, because we love to hear you sing.
You
Yeah.
can sing right now, and we'd probably start
They would
crying.
start crying.
Yeah, we ain't going to do that. We ain't going to do
The
that.
anchor holds is the one that does it every time.
Yeah.
No. Master of the Wind.
Master of the Wind. Yeah, that's it. That's
So
it.
yeah, we're just here. Kristy was on the podcast a few weeks ago, and then they were both like, we should all do one. And so we've been going back and forth the last few days and just thought, let's do it.
Yeah, so we had to get a podcast going for you guys for Andy to get a hold of you and actually talk to you like you're still around, right?
I know.
They're probably going to blame me for that.
I've been talking to Andy all along.
Yeah.
That's right.
He tries to throw me under the bus.
I tell you what, we love you guys so much.
Love you too.
We love you too.
I keep track of you online. I really do. And
Okay, stalker.
And
Nice.
well, I and then I watch, and then it's like, okay, I know how I need to pray for him. So then I watch what's going on in your life, and then I cover you guys in prayer. And I probably should reach out and say that I'm doing that, but I'm just doing it anyway. So, but
I appreciate that.
So enough for me interrupting your
No, you're
podcast.
good.
I'm going to get out of here.
Thrilled. The only thing that would make this like the perfect situation is if Mom and Courtney walked in here and it's like an old family reunion.
Yeah,
The whole family.
yeah. We had to go home and get them right now. Yeah.
Courtney's probably. I said she has a list of this, so I pick on her when she's probably like at her facial right now or getting her nails done after work. Like she's living her best life these days.
Yeah.
So
She's doing
her,
real good.
her and Danny's siblings pick on Courtney and Danny and call them dinks all the time because they dual income, no kids, and they try to make him feel bad about it. And I'm like, listen, if they try to make you feel bad about that, you just say, I can't hear you right now. I'm on my 4th vacation of the year. Like you own it. Like good for you guys.
Angie and I were driving through your area, Pam. I want to say Pammy. Pam.
Hey, go ahead. Call me Pammy.
All right, Pammy. And I said, we ought to stop.
You should have.
And next time we're going to, but tell your dad and your mom I said hi. I think about them often. I don't think I've got your dad's phone number, so I'll have Andy.
We can.
I'll have
figure
Andy
that out.
share my phone number with you guys. But I would love to talk to your dad here sooner than later.
Yeah. Dad has cancer. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
I told him.
Yeah.
I told somebody. I told Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been praying for him.
I don't
and,
know. I think you knew. I didn't tell you. You had already known.
I'd already known.
Did I? Maybe I told him.
Yeah.
Did I tell him?
When I mentioned it, he was like, "Yeah, I knew," or he mentioned it to me, and I said, "Oh, Kristy told me." So,
I think you might have, when you were talking to Angie, I think you might have said something to her. So we've been praying for him. But tell him I think about him often, and if he's still got my number, time to give me a call.
Okay.
Okay. I have to tell him about how I took midnight fishing to a whole new level.
Yeah.
He'll know exactly if he remembers right. He'll know exactly what I'm saying because he used to give me a hard time about midnight fishing. Yeah, right. Midnight fishing.
Man, the fishing—that's a whole different monster these
Ain't that
days.
the truth?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, love you guys. I'm going to pop
Love you
around and
too.
see your faces again, and then I'm out of here.
All right. Here he comes. You guys haven't seen what the podcast studio looks like, so he'll just. There he is. All right. Love you. Talk to you later.
Give our love too.
She said give Mom and everybody love.
We'll do.
All right. Well, there you guys go. That's the whole thing. Brandon freaked out because he's like, we're not recording on all the cameras. So he had to jump up and start recording. So yeah, when I was on vacation, Kristy, you had texted me and had just kind of said this thing. You're like, I'm thinking about a bunch of stuff, and like your parents have always felt like, like an extension of my, parents.
Oh, yeah,
to
I think
me.
I had actually messaged your mom first,
Yeah.
and then when I was like bombarding her with like questions from the past,
Yeah.
and she was like, "You can ask Andy. He remembers stuff." I'm like, "Do you remember our Sunday school teacher?"
Yes. And so,
But do you? You never. I don't think you ever answered that question.
I don't remember getting that one. I'm sorry. I don't I remember her face. Like I remember sitting in the Sunday school class, but if you would ask me her name, I can't remember. Did you figure it out?
Oh, I knew her name.
Oh, what's her name?
Donita.
Oh, okay.
I hope she's watching this podcast.
Yeah, I doubt that. I don't know of many people from any time before I was 20 that are probably like, I wonder what's going on with Andy these days. I'm going to check in on that guy. He was going to go places. And so
I sent the link to Lauren. You remember Lauren Papato?
Yes.
I sent the link to her.
You still talk to her?
I do.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's like way back. I mean, I don't
Kindergarten.
Good Lord. Did she watch it?
Kindergarten.
Do you know if she watched it?
I don't know if she watched it.
That is insane. Wow.
Like she saw, like I posted it, or I think I like reshared something that you had posted, and then she messaged me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, here we are." So.
Oh my goodness, that is. I mean, when you said her name, I had like this
shout out to Lauren.
Lauren, what up? I had like a flood of random First Baptist Christian school memories.
Oh, well.
FBCS. I remember that was there was one particular thing that happened in that school that was a formative moment in my entire life. And I remember as a kindergartner, because the school was so small, the seniors and the kindergartners passed each other in the hallways, which never happens in public school. Like they're in completely different buildings. And so I remember that there was one senior class. We were in kindergarten. We were lined up doing our thing, walking, and the seniors walked past. And I remember one senior, I don't even know if this is actually what he meant or if this was his intention, but he looked at our line and me specifically like we were just like we were in the way, that he was so much better than us, and that we were just little pipsqueak punk little kids, blah, 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 whatever. He probably was like just having a bad day and just didn't want to go to math or whatever. But I remember thinking, as a kindergartner, I will never make a kid feel like that when I'm older.
Aww.
And so when I was all throughout my school days, I went to a Christian school, and it was always small, couple hallways. You're always passing the little kids. And I remember even as a junior and senior, I would high five the little kids as we were walking past them. I'd fist bump them. I would do all this stuff. And I remember every single time thinking, I'm not going to make these kids feel like this kid made me feel.
No.
And
Who does it?
I don't remember.
Who were the seniors when we were in kindergarten?
I have no idea. Yeah, we need the yearbook. It's probably my uncle. It was probably my own family member that made me feel that way. And so, because he used to, I don't know. I just remember thinking, I'm never going to make a kid feel this way. And so thinking about it, looking back at all of my childhood and like growing up, even through school, I so vividly
I'm like dying, like imagining it being Stacy. I don't know why.
Which is so funny because even now we'll go on Thanksgiving trips and I'm like, I don't think Stacy likes us very much. And it's just because he does his own thing. But he's also the kind of guy that'll be sitting in the other room and my mom will be like, Andy, do you remember when that thing happened? And he's like, December 14th, 1998 from the other room. And we're like, how did you even hear that? But that's why mom's the one that we know to text if we need to remember something, because it's just the way the Martins were, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I really think the Martins know everything.
They really do.
Like,
my mom is, I run the company now. Like I took over from my dad a few years ago, and we have like 80 employees combined between all, the various companies that we have. So it's not like a small thing, but it's not like the biggest deal in the world, but it's not like it's a job, My mom walks in, I'll be in the middle of a meeting, budget meeting, finance, like important stuff. And she'll open the door. No, not even knock. Doesn't even matter. She just opens the office door. She's like, we're going to pick up your kids. I'm getting to McDonald's. Just letting you know. And I'm like, okay, like that was the plan, Ma. And then if I give her just the slightest bit of too much attitude, she does that mom like stare. And I'll have 8 people in the room that all work for me, and I will melt into like don't look at her. Do not look her in the eye. Like, and so she really runs the company. Like, that's the whole point of this story. It's that Angie is boss. And that's just the way it goes. It's the power of the motherhood. So something I'll never be able to reach. So
you can't discount us moms.
No.
Man. Mama bear.
Mama rules.
I did tell Steph a long time ago. I think it was after her second child. I said, I'm just letting you know that you win, period. Like forever. Like you just win all of the things. And whether it's a bottle of wine or a steak dinner or a foot rub, yes, to all. Like whatever you get. Because I was in the birth room. And no thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. We're good. We are good. They when Ethan was born, they had to do like the little suction cup thing.
I had that with Finn.
Yeah, so he was stuck, and they had to reposition his head so he can finish coming out. And the doctor was like, "It's not a big deal, but I don't like to put too much stress on the baby, so we're going to try 3 times. If after 3 times the head's not in the position, we're going to probably switch gears. We might have to do a C-section. I'm just giving you guys all the plan." So he does it the first time, right? And it pops off. Right. And he's like, no big deal. Not a problem. The second time he does it, and this is gross, trigger warning, maybe, I don't know if you're listening, but the second time he does it, there's this it pops off and there's this tiny little drop of blood. Okay. Which it's happening. Like that's just part of the whole process. But the way that this happened is that it popped up and in slow motion, I watched it take an arc and it landed on my glasses lens. Right. But it was in slow motion. And I remember thinking to all of these thoughts went through my head. First of all, there's blood on my glasses, right? Which with what Steph's going through is not a big deal. But because it had popped off, I legitimately in my head, envisioned that he had just pulled the baby's head off of its body. Like that was what, like in my head, I'm like, he pulled my baby's head off and that's why this is on my glasses. Like this tiny little drop of blood represented a decapitation. Like that's what
Mama had a baby and the head popped off.
Yeah. Like that was exactly what I thought. And then he goes, we're good. The baby's in position. The next contraction, the next push is going to be it. Right. And then I'm like a sweaty, disgusting mess. So somehow Steph still looks like she's all put together. I don't know how you guys do that.
I didn't. I don't know how she did that either.
I mean, she would tell you that she looked like a melted ice cream cone probably, but like she looked fine to me. And so Ethan comes out, didn't have hair for years. Like neither of my first 2 had hair for years. And then Emerson came out like perfectly styled. But yeah, so moms win. You guys get it. Congratulations. That was a long story just to say that moms are the best, and shout out to all the moms. You guys are awesome.
Okay, well, you should have her come on the podcast and we could share traumatic birth stories.
She would love that. She would love to do that and not record it, and then she would be like, this is just proving how awesome I am. I don't think she watches the podcast. That's kind of a running joke we have, that I don't think she has ever watched it. The one podcast that she tuned in on was 2 weeks ago when it was my 2 producers, when I was on vacation, did it. And that's the one she watched. And she goes, this is so funny because they're imitating you and it's right on. And I'm like, okay, nice job, babe. So, all right. I don't want to keep you guys forever. And I feel like we could talk for days and it not feel like days. So we're going to do this again. I want to, and there's some topics, there a lot of our life experiences we process and we share with each other. And I think eventually I'd like to explore some of the things that we discuss individually because there's so much value to it for people that might be listening. But we'll get there when we get there and we'll talk about it, because not only is those experiences that we deal with now important, but they're also experiences that we deal that because of our history, because we go so far way back. Like I said this to Kristy when we talked, people don't stay friends, forever. Do you know what I mean? And I told her that I could talk to you guys. That looks great. I told her that I could talk to you guys once and then go 7 months. And then I feel like I'm talking to you like I just talked to you both the day before, you know? And it's a treat. It's a joy. I want all of you to just relocate to Northeast Ohio all over again, and bring all of your families and all of your crazy stories. And so, but one day we're going to do this we're going to do an episode of a podcast where we're all in the same room, and
that would be amazing.
I can't wait for that to happen. And we need to do that sooner than later. So before we leave, I want to hear Halloween traditions or plans. What do we do for Halloween? This episode is going to air a couple days after Halloween happens, but I want to hear what, if anything, the plans are as it relates to the Halloween festivities.
That's terrible.
You're not doing anything for Halloween?
I don't know. Honestly, there's like a trunk or treat that we might go to or something. I don't know. Our neighborhood is mostly old people, so there's no kids on the street except for my boys. And like I mentioned, they're like teenagers now. So it's just, so they did get invited to some like church thing. I don't know if we'll do it or not.
Yeah.
Well, I will dress up every Halloween until the day I die.
Yeah.
I mean, I just really like costumes, and but we're just gonna do. I mean, the boys are little, and so we'll just do trick or treat. If the weather is good, it might rain. I don't know.
Yeah.
We always carve pumpkins around the week of, so we'll probably do that. And I was thinking, actually, just today, I was thinking, we haven't done pumpkins yet. The weather's pretty cool. We could go outside and do pumpkins. But then I'm like, there's 3 kids. I don't want to carve 3 pumpkins. I want one pumpkin, and like they share, and like which one of them is going to get the guts out.
Yeah.
Just the regular stuff. We'll go trick-or-treating in the neighborhood, and that'll be that. I haven't even like decorated this year, but
I have like fallish pumpkins everywhere.
I have my porch goose that I need to put out on the porch.
My porch goose is in the kitchen right now.
It's actually in the boys' bedroom. But he has a little trick or treat sign, so I need to put Gail out.
Gail
His
the
name
goose.
is Gail. I need to put Gail out. Yeah. So
my wife didn't decorate her fall stuff because we started packing for like because it's been a long, tedious, kind of terrible process getting this home loan figured up, because they've been, when you own a company, they consider you to be self-employed, which changes everything about how they do home loans. And it's been like terrible, not fun, not enjoying it. Just want to get it done. 15 years ago was when we bought the house that we live in now. And I was just this nonprofit guy, so I didn't have a lot of income. So Steph, who was a school teacher, she basically bought the house. Like, it's in her name.
Sugar mama.
She was my sugar mama. And I said, I'm going to give you 3 kids as a result of this. You're welcome. And she was like, that's not a fair trade. If you want to birth them, then maybe we'll call it even. And I was like, sorry, take it up with God. And so but this one, things are kind of flipped, and she doesn't do the stay-at-home mom thing exclusively, but she is home during the day, and then she teaches dance at night. So like, I'm buying this one. And so, it's just been a process. So we were supposed to close yesterday. The bank needed an extension. So we're almost done with it. But because of that, we've started packing. And so I have a trailer sitting in my driveway that's just full of stuff right now. We're not decorating for anything, because right now we're supposed to close like 4 days before Thanksgiving. Close, but we're supposed to close. We're supposed to close before that. We're supposed to move 4 days before Thanksgiving. So like the 21st is when the movers are coming to my house.
That's Pam's birthday.
Yay. And so it's a good omen. And so so if something happens, it's your fault. That's what I'm going to say. And so we move on the 21st. That's when movers are coming to my house, because another thing that I realized turning 41 is that hey, I'll buy.
You shouldn't move.
Yeah. Hey, I'll buy pizza and call. All of my friends are the same age as me, except, some of the guys I work with, I consider friends. They're younger, but I'm also not going to be like, hey, do you guys want to come help me move? Because they're going to say yes. But who actually wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. The only reason you did it is because you had the energy and they gave you pizza. I'm just going to hire movers, you know what I mean? And let them, and I'm just going to eat pizza while they work. Like that's, you know what I mean? I worked hard for that. And so 21st is when that happens. My daughter's birthday is on the 23rd. My son's birthday is Monday. My son's birthday is Monday. My daughter's birthday is on the 23rd. Is it, what day is the 3rd? No, Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday is the 3rd.
Yeah.
I was thinking Eric's birthday is on next Wednesday.
Okay. So my son becomes a teenager. So I don't even, okay.
Oh,
that's
exciting.
happening. 13 years old. He's thrilled. I'm trying to think. This podcast won't come out until after he gets his gifts. We actually bought him retro video game systems from like a specialty place online. So he's getting like a Game Boy Color. And then I bought him a Nintendo 64. And so,
wow.
Can you believe that's retro now? Anyway. And so he's going to get that. And so we're excited. So anyway, he turns 13 and then we have my daughter, then we have Thanksgiving, then we have Christmas. And in the middle of it all, we're moving. And so
that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And my wife is, stressed, but we're going to get through it and it'll be worth it. So, and then, it's dance competition season, which we'll talk about at another podcast. So
all right.
I have 2 girls dancing. Both have solos and duos and trios, and they compete. That's
a whole world I know nothing about.
Oh man, I've been in it since I married Steph, and I still don't know anything about it. So I just drive the trailer with the props in it and go where they tell me. So, all right, ladies, love you guys so much.
Love you too.
I will talk to you again very, very soon. And obviously we'll probably talk later on in the group chat, and then we'll get you guys back on the podcast soon. And in the meantime, be safe, have a good, fun Halloween and good, fun holidays. And we'll talk real soon.
All right.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
We are, we're going to wrap. Does that make sense? Episode 15. It was a little longer. These Zoom calls go by so fast. So thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. Next week, brand new episode. We've got some I teased this last week. We have some super cool guests that are coming up in the next couple days, next couple weeks. I can't wait to talk to them. Brandon, who do we got next week? Who's on the docket? I know we got Durgy coming up. Michael Durgy's coming up. Is he next, or we got a week in between?
I believe it's someone else next week.
Okay.
So next week is Tina.
We got Tina coming on next week. So put a seatbelt on when you're watching that one, because Tina is awesome and she's full of energy, and I can't wait to talk to her. And in the meantime, guys, just, have a good time. Be safe. Enjoy. When this airs, Halloween will be over. So we'll talk about our fun times that we had. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.